I want to bring into the conversation Lawson Naidoo from the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution. Lawson, as the old adage goes, what's interesting to the public is not necessarily in the public interest. Does this sort of report fall within the ambit of the public interest, and what is the litmus test for that?
Good evening, Oliver. Thank you. Well, look, I mean, I think, the backstory to this is that the report, the investigating report from IPID has been declassified, we now know, was declassified a month ago. And there may still be good grounds, Oliver, in terms of the Promotion of Access to Information Act, which gives effect to the right in Section 32 of the Constitution for access to information that is held by the state. But there may be good grounds, we don't really know the detail yet, but there may be good grounds for this report not to be made public because of other ongoing investigations and court processes that it could undermine. But what is of concern is the lack of transparency by IPID in that when this investigation was concluded, even if the report was classified at that time, surely there was a duty on IPID given the public interest and the clear public interest in this matter, that the investigation that IPID undertook, which was into the conduct of SAPS officials who were investigating whether formally or off the books, as you put it earlier, was in line with the standard policing procedure. Now, it seems that the IPID report found that there were certainly misdemeanors committed, and their report recommended that disciplinary action should be taken. Now, this is obviously of a matter of high public importance, not just public interest, but a matter of public importance, because these are senior police officials investigating or who were being investigated for their conduct in what happened at the Phala Phala farm with the theft of the money and so on. So this is clearly a matter of high public importance, and IPID should have taken the nation into its confidence, even if at that stage they were not in a position to release the report.
Yeah. If, for instance, the findings by IPID are that the transgressions are beyond the threshold of workplace misconduct and meets the threshold of criminal action, what is IPID to do then beyond just saying they should undergo internal disciplinary processes? Can IPID then direct the NPA or implore the NPA to prosecute criminal charges, or do they have to hand that report over to the police for the police to investigate further and potentially then instruct the NPA to prosecute the police?
Well, what we do know is that the Hawks were investigating this matter, not just the South African Police Service itself. But depending on the nature of the findings that emanated from the IPID investigation itself, it may well be that, if the conduct of the police was serious enough to warrant it, that the matter could have been referred to the NPA to take it further. We must also remember that in this context, IPID is intended and is supposed to be an independent investigating body. It's not linked to either the SAPS or to the Hawks or indeed to the NPA. It must execute its responsibilities independently to ensure public confidence in the conduct of the South African Police Service. And what we also know now, Oliver, is as a result of the allegations that were made by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi last year, the ongoing inquiries by the Matlanga Commission as well as in Parliament, that public confidence in the conduct of law enforcement agencies broadly is at a low ebb. And surely it is incumbent on organs of state such as IPID to take the nation into their confidence to the extent that they can, without compromising other investigations and compromising other rights, to take the nation into their confidence and assure us that they are doing their jobs properly and that those who have crossed the line will in fact be held to account. The muddy waters around all of this, makes it look like a cover-up. It may not be, but it certainly begins to look that way.
Yeah, and let's talk about a PI application. If a PI application were to be pursued, what would the tests there be? And importantly, under what circumstances could a court, refuse the application?
Well, look, I mean, the point here is, the first point I wish to make here, Oliver, is that, the default position in South Africa appears to be that even though information ought to be in the public domain, pursuant to the right to information that we enjoy in terms of the Constitution, the default position of the state and organs of state is that you have to go through various bureaucratic hurdles in order to access information that should be in the public domain. So forcing people to make PIA applications, and I had the benefit of listening to the spokesperson of IPID on your colleague Clement Manatella's show a little bit earlier this evening, gave really, no confidence that a PIA application for this report would necessarily be successful, or if it were, the report would be so redacted that would be of very little use whatsoever to anyone. So, one can go through the PIA process, and I think many people who've done this in the past have been led down the garden path because they will inevitably refuse the application for the record. You would then have to appeal. The matter takes months, if not years. And ultimately, when it gets to court, it's probably too late at that stage anyway. So, the way the right in the Constitution, as well as the way the Promotion of Access to Information Act is being interpreted by state officials, is clearly designed to frustrate that very right.
Yeah, certainly. And there have been a number of cases in the past where the court was quite disparaging and damning in their retorts towards some of those state officials trying to conceal certain reports. Lawson, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Really do appreciate it. Lawson Naidoo is the Executive Director for the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution, talking to us on this matter.